My name is Ben, aka Downsize It, and got a lot to cover today. We will be addressing the elephant in the room, the recent announcement that has set the Armada world aflame from Atomic Mass Games. But we will get to that in the second part of this video. The first part of the video, I just want to give you an update of what's been going on with me and for the channel. And the first part is you guys probably noticed the lack of content recently, and that's because I kind of got a little bit burned out, and I didn't realize I was getting burned out. And so it just kind of happened that I just stopped playing Armada for a little bit, and even just editing the videos I had in the queue, just because it was just I just needed a break. And I do apologize for not letting you know that I needed a break and that there was going to be a hiatus. I'll do a better job in the future to let you guys know when there might be a lull period where I take a break. But I'm ready to get back into it. I feel refreshed and invigorated. And you can expect to see another bat rep to come out this week. That was filmed about a week and a half ago that I'll edit and finally put out. And then this coming weekend I'll be restarting filming some new bat reps, etc. Some exciting stuff ahead that we've got scheduled and planned. But for this weekend, right as this announcement was dropping, I was actually at Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City with my wife and daughter and my sister and my brother-in-law Zach. And we went down there on Friday, and then on Saturday we attended the con and we dressed up in cosplay, and for the first time for all of us to do something like that. It was really fun. And I'll be showing pictures are starting to come up now, and to show you some pictures of the cosplays that we did. I went as Obi-Wan Kenobi from Episode 3, and I actually plan to submit my costume to the Rebel Legion to become an official member for Obi-Wan Kenobi. I actually talked to some of them at their booth, and they said my costume looked really good, and then that I should be pretty close. So we'll submit and see how that goes. My brother-in-law Zach, he went as Commander Cody, and he is actually already submitted for the 501st Legion, and he plans on doing several more cosplays and builds. And he actually built his Commander Cody outfit. Like me, I didn't build anything. I just, bought stuff to put my costume together. And actually, Zach did my movie legitimate pouches. And he also built the costume that my wife wore, which was Bo-Katan Kryze. So that's who she went as, was as Bo-Katan. My daughter went as Ahsoka Tano herself, which was really exciting, and to have her all painted up and everything. And then my sister went as Padme from Episode 2. And it was really fun to actually go back to a convention. I've done this many times with Gen Con, and I can't go to Gen Con this year, so this is kind of like my Gen Con for this year. But it was the first time that my wife and daughter had ever been to a con like this at all, whatsoever. And it was my brother-in-law and my sister, they've been to a couple of like the smaller ones here in Arkansas, but nothing at this scale. And Kansas City is pretty big. I'd say it's about a third of the size of Gen Con. And for those of you guys know Gen Con is massive. So a third of the size of Gen Con is still pretty massive. It was pretty huge. And unfortunately, a lot of the celebrities that we were originally looking forward to seeing were not there. They canceled due to COVID concerns, etc. Maybe, at some other time we can see them. But there were a couple celebrities that were there that was exciting to see. I have some pictures coming up here that got to see Felicia Day and do that was like more of the professional, you have to go in, you have to pay to see them kind of thing. I was able to get a couple pictures with her, which was exciting. And because I'm a really big fan of Felicia Day. And for those of you that don't know who Felicia Day is, I'd recommend looking up The Guild TV show. And she was also in Dragon Age Inquisition. She played a character, and she's on Supernatural now, as well as some other, I think, TV shows. But huge fan of Felicia Day. You could say she's like nerd royalty in the gaming side of things, and just like, I guess, ultra nerds. So, and then a really big one that I was so excited to meet was Timothy Zahn was there. And for those who don't know who Timothy Zahn is, he is the one who wrote Heir to the Empire, and he invented and created Grand Admiral Thrawn. And just so you guys hear that in the background, that's just my daughter practicing her French horn for tomorrow. So we'll have some serenading going on. And but Timothy Zahn, was really great to meet him. I wasn't able to go to the panel because we couldn't get there early enough on Friday. Zach did. He had a panel on Friday, which was really fun to listen to. But I was able to go to his booth and chat with him for a little bit, and he was really awesome and to allow to sign some of my Armada cards. So you guys will see that coming up on the screen now. And those are going to be officially replacing my screen grabs for the cards that I had for Grand Admiral Thrawn, the Chimera title, Commander Vanto, and the Imperial 2 Star Destroyer Chimera Edition. And I am basically, I feel I'm so excited to have those now with his signature on there. And I plan on purchasing, he actually gave me a little link for, or not a link, but because he had sold out of all of his books on Friday. And basically, where he lives locally in Oregon, there's a game store or a bookstore there that you can order online and request for him to sign it, and he'll come in and sign books, and then they'll ship them to you. And I plan on doing that for Heir to the Empire and that entire trilogy, because they're coming out with like a 20th anniversary edition of those books. Or it's actually, I think it's more than 20, but anyway. And in paperback, which is what I like, is paperback. So I haven't read the original Thrawn trilogy, the Heir to the Empire trilogy, in a long time. And I actually never owned the books. I always just borrowed friends' books. So it's about time for me to own them. And now I know a way to get a signed copy. And I'll be sure to put up on the screen there, too, the information if anybody else is interested in getting signed copies of Timothy Zahn's work, if you want to do the whole ordering online through this bookstore. But as you can see, going through the screenshots, all the different cosplays we saw, attended some fun panels, like nerd panels and stuff, with like Marvel, or who would win, Harry Potter, Luke Skywalker, or Deadpool. Of course, it's Deadpool. Of course, you guys might disagree with me on that, but it's Deadpool. And that's what the conclusion that the overwhelming majority came to in the panel and in the room. And then also the costume contest, which was absolutely phenomenal, seeing all those custom-made costumes. And it has inspired my wife and my daughter there. They've now got the bug. And I'm really excited to have a wife and kid that are excited about this kind of convention nerd stuff. And we plan on, they've already been sketching out and planning out costumes that they want to build and make now for future conventions. And so who knows, we probably won't cosplay when we go to Las Vegas Open, just because we're going to be flying, and that's just going to be a nightmare trying to get costumes through on a plane. But Gen Con next year, gosh, it's been so long. 2017 was my last Gen Con year, and I need to get back to it. Love it. And my wife and kid will be coming with me, and probably several costumes, and we'll be cosplaying around in Gen Con next year. But want to give you guys just that little sneak peek into what I did over the weekend. Oh, and also just for people that care, a tradition of mine is when I go to Gen Con, I always buy a new set of dice. So I actually found two sets of really amazing ones I couldn't pick, so I just decided to get both. Especially since it's been a few years since I've had to miss Gen Con. So I'll have some screenshots coming up for that. Some really, really cool sets of dice. I like collecting dice, and really nice sets of dice. So, all that in regards to what I was doing this weekend. And also why I have not responded to your comments on my latest two videos. I like to not respond to comments unless I'm at my computer with my spreadsheet for the giveaway. That way I don't miss anybody. So I respond to your comment, then I put your name on the spreadsheet. And that way. That's why, so if you ever guys wonder why hasn't responded to my comment in a couple of days, it's because I haven't been around my computer to be able to answer your question or respond to your comment and then mark it on the spreadsheet for the giveaway, because I don't want to miss anybody. Okay. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The big news that just dropped. For those that don't know, I'll put up a screenshot here of the announcement that Atomic Mass Games did on their Facebook and other social media accounts, as opposed to, I have opinions about the method of the delivery, but we'll just go on to the content. It says, as we move into 2022 and beyond, we are excited to continue to support Star Wars Armada by prioritizing reprints of existing products and through organized play initiatives. However, we currently do not have any new Armada products in development. We will provide additional information as it becomes available. Those of you that have been following this for the past couple of days, I'm sure know all the responses that have been going on, the different reactions on both extremes. People have been having, I guess you say, meltdowns about this, and you could say people have been pretty laissez-faire, who cares? And then there's everybody also in between, expressing disappointment, expressing hope, expressing all sorts of emotions. And I have to say, I went through a whole series of emotions as well, and it was probably a good thing that I was not in a position to film a podcast or respond. I actually had a few days to think about it and process, and as I went through all the different spectrums. And I just wanted to give you guys sort of my opinion on the matter, and also just what it means for my channel. And the first part of my opinion on the matter is on, I guess you could say, the negative side of things. One, this is very unfortunate, because one, when they were initially, Asmodee is actually, by the way, for those that know the corporate structure, Asmodee actually is the overall corporate overlords over Atomic Mass Games and Fantasy Flight, and they're the ones that own the actual Star Wars license. When they announced that they were going to be moving all these Star Wars miniature games over to Atomic Mass Games about this time last year, actually, it was done. You know, people were worried, but also enthusiastic, and the announcements were made that this was actually a good thing because Atomic Mass Games is a miniatures company with their Marvel Crisis Protocol game. And the intent that we were given through press releases and blog posts and comments and live streams was that this was going to be the new home for Armada, Legion, and X-Wing, and moving forward with new content. Then we got the Clone Wars stuff, and then Wave 10. And now they've made the announcement that they don't have anything currently in development. One thing that people need to keep in mind is that development time takes a long time, and the products that we've gotten so far was not put out by Atomic Mass Games. It was developed and created by Fantasy Flight, because it takes several years to develop expansions and put a product out. So the Clone Wars core sets that we got, the upgrade card pack, the 1.5 rules, and the Wave 10 stuff was all developed and was in the pipeline ready to go before Atomic Mass Games got the handoff. And the same is true for X-Wing and Legion stuff. So at this point, Atomic Mass Games has actually done nothing for Armada, except just they're just holding on to the IP and managing now like shipping and manufacturing the reprints, etc. And on the negative side of things, from my perspective thinking about this, because of the wording specifically on this announcement, which, by the way, I'll just talk about that. I think if they're going to make an announcement like this, they need to actually do an actual, maybe like a video or an official press release, not a screenshot of a few sentences and post it on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. I think that's kind of a low blow. The good thing about it is that they, at least they said something. There was no silence. People have been trying to say, well, at least they're honest and upfront about it. Sort of honest and upfront about it. They weren't honest and upfront about it in the spring and the winter and the summer when they were wanting us to buy the product. So there are corporate shenanigans going on. Rest assured, let's not be naive. So from the corporate side of things, I think this is not a good sign for future content, new content. We'll see if they actually do organized play and support with the existing products, because I personally don't trust them. They've said different things before the past year and a half, or past half year. So we'll wait and see. And because they said nothing is currently in development, that means, again, let's not be naive. We're not going to see anything in 2023, guys. It takes years to develop something to put out and for mass distribution, because you have to develop the cards, you have to develop the rules behind them, with the factory, with designing the models and putting them into production, play testing, getting it all together, shipping it. That takes years. Since nothing is currently in development, it's going to be years before we see anything, if ever. Now, while that is, yes, disappointing, on the flip side of things, it doesn't affect me at all, because I'm still going to keep playing the game. I love the game Star Wars Armada not because of Fantasy Flight, not because of Atomic Mass Games, and certainly not because of Asmodee. I love Star Wars Armada because I love Star Wars, and I love the game. And I was talking about to this. I was actually talking with Garrett about this while I was at the con, just through chatting and texting. We've seen Armada die before. I mean, we both actually got into the game when Armada was dead, and then had some rises and then falls, and rises and falls. But when I started Armada, it was dead as a graveyard in my area, and it's been that way until actually last January. It was kind of coincided with the Clone Wars releases and me starting my channel. It's actually starting to build up in my area, but it was just me. And then playing with Buster and Rob and Albert, just because I was like, hey guys, I got this game, you guys want to play? We'll do some Rebellion in the Rim and Corellian conflict campaigns. And they're like, hey, that's great, because we just play games all the time of different sorts, and that was just a new one for them to play. But as far as like a community and the health of the game in my area, it was dead. It's been dead for years. And it's been, and that was the same way with Garrett. If you guys watched the interview with him, he was talking about when he got into Armada, it was dead. And so we've seen these rises and falls before, and whether or not this is going to be the end of future content, and it will just be reprints if they're telling the truth, and will at least allow the expansions and stuff to be in stock, etc. Players that want to get into it. That's just the reality we're going to have to live with. But the good thing is, I want to say, is it has zero effect on me or my channel. And I can also, I speak for Garrett Vance on this because we talked, and I asked him if I could say some of these things. Doesn't change anything for him as well. We are still going to play Armada. He's still going to produce products for Armada, accessories. There's still going to be content on this channel. And I don't care if they announce tomorrow that they are going to stop supporting Armada completely. It's not going to stop me. So, for channel downsize it and everyone involved with it, Social General Rob and Buster and Robbie and Aaron and the people that are now new in the area that are like starting to get into Armada again, we're not going to stop Armada. We're going to just do it our own way. We don't need Atomic Mass Games. We don't need Fantasy Flight. We don't need Asmodee to give us permission to enjoy this game, and we don't need them to produce our own content for this game. So we're going to do it ourselves. So for this channel, guys, even though this is probably looking like, really bad, some people are really not, thinking this is a death knell and throwing up their hands, understandable reactions. And even for those that are, being very, very optimistic that this is just a delay of a year or a year and a half, also a fair reaction. For my channel and for everyone involved, it's not going to change what we do. And it's not, and speaking for Garrett Vance and our partnership, that's not going to change. We're going to continue with the giveaways. And I just want to let you know, guys, myself and Garrett, we care about the game, we care about the community, and we are going to continue to support that. As far as I can tell you right now, as far as I know, indefinitely, that's not going to change anytime soon, not even in the far future. So, just want to let you guys know that there is a balance to be had in the reactions to this, optimism and disappointment, because I am disappointed, but I'm also optimistic knowing that it has no bearing on how I play the game, and no bearing on what I'm going to be doing in the future to support you guys, the community, and the greater community that has not joined the channel yet, and then the local community here. And some ways that we're going to do that, just going to give you a preview what's going to be coming up for the rest of the year for my channel. Immediately, we'll be getting, I'm going to try to get back to, regular 2 bat rep a week schedule. I might go back to just doing maybe 1 bat rep a week so I don't get burned out again. Just try to maintain a healthy pace. And just like fill in other videos with like podcasts and interviews and that sort of thing, just so it keep things fresh and moving. Immediately, like I said, there'll be a bat rep coming out this week, a subscriber bat rep where I run a subscriber list against Robbie. And filming this Sunday, a really exciting bat rep I'll be filming with Buster, and Rob will just be kind of the color commenter and peanut gallery, you could say. And we have, there's some trouble brewing in Canada that we need to settle. A war has been kind of brewing. Gauntlets have been thrown. Challenges have been declared. So Buster and I will be representing a couple of our Canadian compatriots as we go through an epic battle to decide the fate of our brothers up north. And so you can expect that next week to be released. And Again, more subscriber lists. As always, just keep sending in your lists to be featured on the channel. We'll make up, of course, our own lists. Get as many people on the channel as possible. Get all the repeat offenders, Aaron and Josh and Rob and Robbie. And then got to get Trent down here from, I hope I said the right name, but from that was the SSD at the Lone Star Open. And then my goal is in October. So October is my goal to start up a epic Rebellion in the Rim campaign for the channel. It's going to have a lot of house rules because we're going to have all 4 factions involved, and there's going to be a lot more than just 6 players, which is the quote-unquote max you can have, because a lot of people are interested around here to do a Rebellion in the Rim campaign, and so I'm going to start working on rule sets and just adjustments and modifications, etc., to allow for more players and allow for all 4 factions, a big 4v4 massive Rebellion in the Rim campaign conflict that I'm really hoping to be able to schedule and plan in October. The other thing that's going to be happening, and this is going to be part of that, if AMG and Asmodee won't do it, us as the community, we need to do it, and I can tell right now I'm going to do it, is going to set up the inaugural Northwest Arkansas Star Wars Armada tournament. Going to be local and potentially semi-local or even more depending on how many people that want to travel here. I'm pushing it back. When I initially mentioned this about a couple weeks ago, that I wanted to do something like this, I was going to attach it to a local convention called GlitchCon, which is the first weekend of October. I've decided against that because, one, I don't want to be beholden to anyone if they cancel all of a sudden, or if, I don't know, if they want to cut or whatever. I don't want to be beholden to anyone when I put this on. I want this to be something that is that we have control of, that we can make sure that it actually happens. So I'm pushing it back. It's going to be sometime in November, December at the latest, early December, before I don't want to go into the holidays. That I'm going to plan. We're going to get the venue, and if people show interest that might want to travel in from out of town, try to maybe we can get some a hotel deal somewhere nearby locally, if there's enough people interested, that kind of thing. But be on the lookout towards November or early December at the latest to have the inaugural Northwest Arkansas Star Wars Armada tournament. And if it goes well, and even if it doesn't go well, I plan on making this an annual thing. Because I think what we need to keep in mind here, guys, it's going to be the community that keeps Armada alive. Not AMG, not Asmodee. It's going to be the community. And if Asmodee loses the license and they just cancel Armada for good, Disney still wants to make money, so they'll sell the license to someone else, and whoever that someone else is might look at this game and say, hey, that Armada game's pretty good, we'll pick it up. That might happen in the future. But for now, it's going to be us in the community that need to keep the game alive, need to enjoy the game, and to support each other in it. Oh, and also let you know, Garrett Vance will be providing the prize support for the tournament that we'll be having here in Arkansas later in the year. And again, Garrett Vance is still fully committed to supporting the game of Armada with his custom accessories. That's not going away either. And I would just like to give out this encouragement to everybody, after the LSO, and I posted some of my videos and my interview with Paul Kellorn and some other the podcasts that I did regarding that, we've seen on the Armada TTS Discord a lot of, and also just me on the Armada Facebook page, people are starting up their own tournaments locally and just taking charge and doing it themselves. And I encourage you, in your area, wherever you are, start organizing. Playing your own local leagues, your own local events, your own Armada tournaments. And if you need a place to gather and organize, reach out to Kellorn on the Armada TTS Discord, because he has already stated that he is going to create, for people that are doing tournaments, your own specific channel on Discord for your tournament, so you guys can organize and talk and plan and give live updates of how the tournament's going. So Armada TTS Discord, reach out to Kellorn, and he'll give you a channel for your tournament so that you guys can prep and prepare and just talk and engage as a community. So, and there are so many other people that are engaging and helping the community that, like I said, we'll do it ourselves. And for next year, there is a company that is actually interested in helping us have event space and tournaments, and that's Frontline Gaming. The Las Vegas Open, yes, Frontline is it's like a 99% Warhammer 40k company and Age of Sigmar, but they've, we've got Armada, Legion, and X-Wing at the Las Vegas Open, and and they are planning on having, I think they said at least 10 events next year for organized play. So support Frontline Gaming and show them that the community is willing for this game not to die, and go to the Frontline tournament events for Armada. So yes, this announcement does suck, but let's not let it kill the game. We have control over whether the game lives or dies. Because I've seen some people mentioning in the comments saying, hey, let's look at Battletech. And that is actually a good point. I love Battletech. It was actually my first miniatures game I got into. Battletech's almost 40 years old, and it has had one rules update in 40 years. And very rarely do we actually see new mech models actually arrive. The game support of the companies that have owned Battletech, especially recently with Catalyst. FASA was pretty good, but Catalyst has been pretty garbage with their handling of Battletech. Battletech has seen ups and downs, but it's been the Battletech lovers and players and second-hand, third-hand companies making models and stuff, and to keep the Battletech game alive for 40 years. Armada's not even 10 years old yet, guys. I think we can make it 40 years as long as we as the community keep it going. And that includes people that might want to make custom rules, custom ships. I've seen people that are actually starting to, hey, I'm going to start making my custom ships. And there's also people that do it right now already. So I'm reiterating myself, so I'll stop. But just, as I said it before, let's come together as a community, keep this game alive, keep it strong. No matter what corporate entity has control of it, who cares what they say? We're the ones that have the control over this, whether or not we enjoy it and have fun with it or not. And as far as Channel Downsize It is concerned, and as far as Admiral Tater's Ship Shop is concerned, we're not going anywhere. Content is going to continue to come, and custom accessories are going to continue to be made. So, I hope we can all, over the next few days, recover and, do whatever, I guess, processes we need to work through our emotions on both sides of the spectrum as they shift and fluctuate, and then get back to enjoying Armada. Because I know I'm looking forward to it. It's kind of ironic this happened when I was like right on the tail end of my need to take a break because I was getting burned out. Well, this has actually reinvigorated me. The content's coming back. I'm ready to play some Armada. And I'm really excited for this game that I'm going to be filming on Sunday that you guys will be seeing in about 8-9 days is when it will drop. So, thank you guys so much for your support on the channel. I think when this drops, I'm at 499 subscribers when I'm filming this. Maybe when this drops, it might be at 500. I'm sure I'll get there with one extra subscriber in the next day or so. But 500 subscribers is huge. It's massive. Your guys' support has been amazing. Thank you so much. And I can speak for Social General Rob and Buster and Robbie and Aaron and everybody else involved with the channel, and Garrett Vance as well, especially. We do this for you guys. We do it for our own enjoyment, of course, for fun, but also for you guys, for the greater Armada community, and we're going to continue to do so. Thank you for your support, and until next time, take it easy.